There's nothing common about the way I make movies and we made this movie, thank God. And it's because naturally with 100 years of cinema, like a lot of the way the people make them becomes a means to an end, right? The joy of really being on a set and seeing things and seeing creatures, it seems to have disappeared for a while in certain movies as well. I'm not interested in that. In the best possible way, it's like you gotta channel your inner kid and do it the way, bring some toys, get the camera, just look at something that is actually in front of you, shoot it, and tell the story, and always in order. What would you shoot the ending first? It's really more about going through the adventure, seeing something that is real, seeing these characters going through that, film it for you guys, and then show it like this is what happened. This is the adventure we went through.
We couldn't leave San Diego without these.
No, of course.
No, we had to pack them up.
Did you get them in did you go to Hall H?
We were.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Moment we'll never forget.
How did that go?
It was wild. It was our first time there too, so it was an experience to be there for it.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was my first time at Hall H as well.
Wow.
I had done the version of that in New York with my first movie with Evil Dead. So it was me, Bruce Campbell, and all those guys. Like, I don't know if it was that big, but it felt that big back then.
It's an experience in that room. Like when you feel the sound, I think like
church.
Yeah.
People are excited.
Yeah.
That was great. Thank God.
To remember the one thing that you said to us when we spoke about the trailer back then was all you want to do is, show the world this movie. And you kind of got a bit of that opportunity at Holly to show so much of that film, or so many great moments in the movie. What was that like for you to finally kind of get to share with such a massive crowd?
No, it's the best part. It's like you feel, you've been working in a cave almost, for many years, like with the movie, you don't show anything to anybody. And then finally to be able to share. And that day was kind of the first time that we really shared, large chunks of the movie with an eager audience. So that's what you make it. That's what you live for, to just get that cheer out of the audience and get that energy. It's just the best part.
Definitely. Everyone was going nuts, especially at the end there.
Yeah, when the lights cut out and we see like the facehuggers running everywhere, I think that legit terrified us. So that's just a taste of what we could expect when we watch the full movie. I think
Were they running among people?
Yeah, they were like on the ground, like little animatronic ones that were scurrying.
I couldn't see it from where I was sitting. That was the plan, but I was like, are we doing it? I saw the ones running on stage. I was like, oh, great, we have them here. But I didn't know if they would let them run among the crowd.
It was wicked. And then again, the rest of Comic-Con was taken over by everybody wearing these on the show floor. They were everywhere. We couldn't escape them.
That's great. That's a goal.
Yeah. Something, too, that we found fascinating about Romulus is that you shot this chronologically, which isn't always the case at all with films. So I'm just curious, when you're making a movie like this, how does that help you as a director tell the story? Does it help you more? Is that something that you find it's a better way to shoot a film? Do you prefer that way?
There's nothing common about the way I make movies and we made this movie, thank God. And it's because naturally with 100 years of cinema, like a lot of the way the people make them becomes a means to an end, right? It's like, think about it, many superhero movie where it's a green screen, and when you see the behind the scenes, there's nothing really happening a lot of times, and you go, well, and then eventually the movie can look amazing, but on the day, it just it's all it means to an end, right? There's the joy of really being on a set and seeing things and seeing creatures. It seems to have disappeared for a while in certain movies as well. And I'm not interested in that. And mostly in the best possible way, it's like you got to channel your inner kid and do it the way you did it when you were, when you're a teenager. And I started doing it when I was 7 years old. And the whole idea was to, bring some toys, get the camera, just look at something that is actually in front of you, shoot it, and tell the story, and always in order. What would you shoot the ending first? It robs you from the experience of going through the adventure. But again, it means to an end. Sometimes it makes more sense and whatever. But for me, it's really more about going through the adventure, seeing something that is real, seeing these characters going through that, film it for you guys, and then show it like this is what happened. This is the adventure we went through. And for the actors, it's so much better. They find the characters as they go, and you see real transformations, because the journey of the 2 hours for them is a journey of a few months. going slowly through that process. So, and for a lot of the actors also some of them were in the first movies, you can see their growth as well, and which is what you want for this character. So it makes sense. It's not the easy way.
Right.
It's the hard way when you do it that way, because you have to go to a set, build the whole thing, do one scene, then leave that set behind, go to another one. And then when they come back all the way back to that other one to do the next scene, but when normally you go to one, you shoot everything that happens there. Then you go there, you shoot everything that happens there. But it just, it's not as fun.
But it works. And I think by the end of it, like you said, everyone's on the same page. Everyone knows emotionally where they're at, which is great.
No, definitely. It's a better experience for everybody. I think if it's better for the cast and for me, it's better for the movie. Right?
Very true. And it was something that we also loved is that you made it your mission to make this movie as practical as possible. And you definitely see that. We talked about it when you show the trailer to us. You see it in there. And
hopefully it shows. Yeah, material. I don't have to take my word for it.
Definitely shows. It scared the hell out of us. And I think that's what we love about when we can't wait to see it, to be scared. Yeah. So that's an exciting feeling as well. But when you're shooting practically, you even talked about how you had 9 puppeteers, kind of even managing these xenomorphs. How did your relationship with Gallo, your DP on this film, evolve when making a movie so practically?
Well, it was always the plan from the beginning. Not a lot of people, including myself, have enough experience with these things to go, okay, we know what this is. So every day is a bit of a mystery, right? But it is truly about. I think there's 2 sides of it. The hardest part is a 2, and it's 50% is to actually build the right creature and the miracle of this animatronics and all that. But the other part is all the photography and how to shoot them and make them feel alive and find the right angles, because those things, you look at it the wrong way or the right angle, right light, they look like shit. It doesn't look real, just as real as what you have in there.
These aren't real?
But those could be turned into completely terrifying and organic looking real things done in the right way. And it's all about the light, and then the gooey substances you put on them and the puppeteering is but it is a bit of a lost art. So it was a learning curve for everybody in different tests and during the making, but also before, to really find a way to shoot these things in a way that looks incredible.
So, speaking of lost art, I think the trailer for this film, especially the most recent one that came out, and they can space no one can hear you, and then you cut to the screen, but you don't see the words. There's a lot of misleading elements in it, and I know you were mentioning that you were purposely cutting things differently, and things are going to work out differently. When you want to make a trailer for a movie like this and not give everything away, how do you find that balance of making people want to be scared, but also, we got to save some thrills in the theater?
I mean, we're definitely saving so many thrills. I'm not concerned about that. It's more about the perception that people have when they see the trailer, and they feel suddenly they know everything. If the trailers and the materials are too straightforward, you get that sense that you've seen it and you don't necessarily have to see it. Sometimes it's not true. You might get that sense, and believe me, a trailer doesn't give you anything that is truly that will spoil the movie. Really, there's so much more in the film. But I'm trying to really honor that movie night experience of the first weekend when you go without knowing much, and that experience, the more we go there without knowing much and having some idea, but the best your experience, right? So you have to show enough to convince people to go,
right.
But you don't want to do too much. But all that being said, I always when people complain, and I have complained too as well, the trailer shows too much. But I had never went to see a movie that I walked out and said, that would have been a great movie if it wasn't because I saw the trailer. And not really.
Yeah.
You might go, you get lost in the movie at some point.
Yeah, of course.
And you forget, right? And your friend that didn't see it goes I didn't see the trailer, so it was great for me. And that's not a real scenario.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. That's very true. Yeah. Something that we also love about it is that you've been in this horror genre for so long, and you've made so many iconic horror movies. No, of course, we have to praise them.
Thank you.
What's kept you in this genre for so long? And is comedy the next route? Is that where you're going next?
I doubt. I don't know. I just love it. It's just the way I like to tell stories. The suspense and the tension is what's one of the most cinematic things for me. Just to have people glued to the screen, and sometimes even without doing much. Don't Breathe was a whole exercise of how little can I do for all this time. without, having to put on a show or do any gags or do it. Sometimes not even an action. I mean, something that really is a proof of that. The script for Don't Breathe was like, script usually 120 pages, something like that. The script for Don't Breathe was like about 62 pages.
Oh, wow.
It was embarrassing to show to people. It was like, dude, what, you didn't finish it? It was like, no, there's no dialogue almost. And it's very simple. And one line of dialogue could have been maybe 30 seconds sometime with just a shot slowly pushing down a corridor to find something that's going to make a sound.
Right.
So when you write it, it's very simple. So that's what I love about it. And also I tell you, like, nothing beats a theater full of people being vocal and scared and yelling and cheering. There's other movies where people have a great experience, but there will be people in the theater. And I don't know, I need to get that energy from the audience. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
Nothing like that community feeling of being scared.
Yeah, I tell when the first time I watched Evil Dead with a big audience, I was sitting next to Sam Raimi, and then some moment in the movie, people are going crazy and yelling and screaming. And I'm like, what? And then the movie ends, and there's this big cheer, and I look at Sam, and Sam looks at my face, and goes like, see, do you get that feeling you're feeling right now? I'm like, yeah, that's why you gotta be. Now you gotta be chasing this for the rest of your life.
That's so good.
And it's true. You once you experience that, you want to get that again, and you want to make a movie and get that reaction out of the audience. That's why it was great. Hall H is a bit of a taste of that.
Oh yeah.
Fede, thank you so much for your time. We're so grateful to talk to you again this year.
Thank you, guys.
We can't wait to watch this, and we're so glad that it's getting 100 days in theaters. So it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a great
We're
time.
going to see it every day, pretty much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.